for the coastal town and a municipality in southwestern Slovenia. See Piran.Saint Piran of Pyran, died c. 480, was a 5th century Cornish abbot and saint, supposedly of Irish origin. He is the patron saint of tin miners, and is also generally regarded as the patron saint of Cornwall, although St. Michael and St. Petroc also have some claim to this title. Traditionally, St. Piran has been identified as the Irish St. Piran of St. St. Piran's flag, a white cross on a black background, is used as a symbol of Cornwall. St. Piran's Day falls on the 5th of March, suggested Irish origins. Piran is the most famous of all the saints said to have come to Cornwall from Ireland by at least the 13th century, since Brittonic languages and Goidelic languages regularly alternate P and K sounds. He had become identified as the Irish St. Piran of St. who founded the monastery at St. Piran in County Offaly. The 14th century life of St. Piran, probably written at Exeter Cathedral, is a complete copy of an earlier Middle Irish life of St. Piran of St. with different parentage and a different ending that takes into account Piran's works in Cornwall, and especially details of his death and the movements of his Cornish shrine, thus excising the passages which speak of his burial at St. However, there is no shrine to him in Ireland. The 5th of March is the traditional feast day of both St. Piran of St. and St. Piran. However, the calendar of Launceston Church records an alternative date of the 18th of November from the latter. In Piran's Ablow parish, Piran feast is traditionally celebrated on the last Monday in October. On the previous Sunday there are services at the site of St. Piran's oratory and in the parish church of St. Piran. Views from modern scholars. Charles Plummer suggested that St. Piran might, instead, be identified with St. Piran of Clonmacnoise, who founded the monastery of Clonmacnoise also in County Offaly, but this is doubtful since this saint is believed to have died of yellow fever at the age of 32 and was buried at Clonmacnoise. His father is, however, sometimes said to have been a Cornishman. Joseph Loth, moreover, has argued on detailed philological grounds that the two names could not possibly be identical. G.H. Doble thought that Piran was a Welshman from Glamorgan, citing the lost chapel once dedicated to him in Cardiff. David Nashford accepts the Piran of Clonmacnoise identification, whilst further suggesting that Piran's father in the Exeter life, Domul, be identified with Dywel ab Eben, a 5th century prince of Dumnonia. The St. Piran Trust has undertaken research which suggests that St. Piran was either St. Piran of St. or a disciple, as indicated by Dr. James Brennan of Kilkenny and Dr. T. F. G. Dexter, whose thesis is held in the Royal Cornwall Museum. Professor Nicholas Orme writes in his Churches of Medieval Exeter that it may well be that Piran was the inspiration for the Carian dedication, albeit believed to be identical with Ciaran. Also, the saint of the church in Exeter was Carinus Ciaranus in Latin documents, with Carian being the local vernacular pronunciation. Legends. The heathen Irish tied him to a millstone, rolled it over the edge of a cliff into a stormy sea, which immediately became calm, and the saint floated safely over the water to land upon the sandy beach of Piran's Ablow in Cornwall. His first disciples are said to have been a badger, a fox and a bear. He landed in Cornwall, and there established himself as a hermit. His sanctity and his austerity won for him the veneration of all around, and the gift of miracles, with which he was favoured, brought many to seek his charitable aid. He was joined at Piran's Ablow by many of his Christian converts, and together they founded the Abbey of Piran, with Piran as abbot. St. Piran rediscovered tin smelting when his black hearthstone, which was evidently a slab of tin bearing ore, had the tin smelt out of it and rise to the top in the form of a white cross. Death and veneration. It is said that at his death, the remains of the blessed Martin the abbot which he had brought from Ireland were buried with him at Piran.Saint Piran. His own remains were subsequently exhumed and redistributed to be venerated in various reliquaries. Exeter Cathedral was reputed to be the possessor of one of his arms, while according to an inventory, St. Piran's old church, Piran.Saint Piran, had a reliquary containing his head and also a hearse in which his body was placed for processionals. The churches at Piran and Piran were dedicated to Piran, and holy wells at Cornwall and Probus, Cornwall, are named after him. In Brittany, St. Piran, Le Piran and St. Piran are also named after him. The earliest documented link to the design of the St. Piran's flag with St. Piran is on the coat of arms of the de St. Piran of St. Piran family, from Cornwall in Brittany. The earliest evidence known comes from the 15th century, with the arms being disabled aliquot pâté d'argent. Mount St. Piran is a mountain in Banff National Park near Lake Louise, Alberta, Canada, named after the saint. St. Piran's Day. St. Piran's Day is popular in Cornwall, and the term Pirantide has been coined to describe the week prior to this day. Many Cornish-themed events occur in the duchy and also in areas in which there is a large community descended from Cornish emigrants. The village of Piran.Saint hosts the annual inter-Celtic festival of Lownder Piran, which is also named in honor of him. The largest St. Piran's Day event is the march across the dunes to St. Piran's Cross, which hundreds of people attend, generally dressed in black, white and gold, and carrying the Cornish flag. A play of the life of St. Piran, in Cornish, has been enacted in recent years at the event. Daffodils are also carried and placed at the cross. Daffodils also feature in celebrations in Truro, most likely due to their gold color. Black, white and gold are colors associated with Cornwall due to St. Piran's flag and the duchy shield. In 2006, Cornish MP Dan Rogerson asked the government to make the 5th of March a public holiday in Cornwall to recognise celebrations for St. Piran's Day. St. Piran in popular culture. St. Piran's crab, Clibanarius erythropus, a small hermit crab found on the South Cornwall coast, is named in honour of the hermit saint.